This is Windshield Hoops. What is going on, everybody? This is Jay Wilder Adams today alongside Zach Rudine and Isaac Condra of Global NBA Scouting. And you were here last time, but since then, Isaac, you are now a part of Sports Illustrated. Literally 10 minutes after I said, go after your dreams, man. So just talk about your life, first of all, since your big move.
Yeah. It was wild. I literally saw the DM and I knew kind of an idea of what it was going to be. Opened it up and I was like, it is what I thought. And I literally screenshot it and I think I sent you. I was like, dude, what are the freaking odds? Like the timing on that was just crazy. And then literally within like 2 days, it was pretty. It's pretty easy. You all helped convince me into making that jump. Thank you all. And then we talked about it. They got me on like a Zoom meeting or whatever. It was pretty quick. It was pretty quick. I was like, yeah, I'm doing this. And I've always wanted to get into writing. I just needed something to get me like motivated to push me to that writing side. And I've enjoyed it so much. I've enjoyed writing. I'm here in Portsmouth for the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament, watching the top seniors go at it. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been great writing. It's been great meeting more people. So.
Yeah, just talk about your life a little bit since then. So you're in Virginia now, covering that event. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'm in Portsmouth right now. The Portsmouth Invitational Tournament, for people that don't know, it's basically where 64 of the top seniors, they all get invited. Some will obviously decline and stuff depending on who they are. But it'll be 64 seniors, 8 teams. It's a tournament style from game one, from day one. It's just tournament, 8-team bracket. There's a loser bracket, there's a winner's bracket. Today's day 2 right now as we're recording this podcast. Couple standout guys, Tumani Kamara. You'll probably hear about his name more as we move along through the draft process. But there's a bunch of scouts. Jonathan Gavoni for Draft Express is there. His buddy John is there. Bunch of D1 coaches, players. It's a pretty fun environment.
Yeah, it's cool. You talked about it, right? Like Jonathan Gavoni's right next to you, the Dayton coach, right behind you, right? There's just so many cool guys that you're seeing every day now, huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's pretty unique. I didn't even know the Dayton coach was behind me until like the very end of the last game when I kind of peeked behind me because I was just watching the game the whole time and I seen people kept coming up to the guy behind me. I was like, oh, it's the Dayton coach. What's up?
And Zach, you haven't talked like in the first 2 minutes of this episode, man. So
I'm keep trying to get some players ready on this draft segment that we got coming up. Because that whole arena just basically filled with scouts, and I would assume there's not many fans there.
There actually is a good bit of like the local fans. There's a guy there that plays at Norfolk State. He has his little he has the biggest crowd there because it's only like 5 minutes away from where we're at. There's a couple fans. There's a couple people in the city. I was talking to a couple fans to the right of me, left of me. But for probably about 60%, yeah, I would say there's like scouts, NBA workers, people covering the draft like me.
Have you talked to any NBA draft prospects since?
Yeah, I talked to Kamara. I plan on doing a lot of that on the 3rd and 4th day, which today's the 2nd day.
So what type of writing do you plan on doing later? Do you plan on doing any types of interviews and stuff? Like writing about your interviews?
For this event, I'm probably just me and one other writer for Draft Digest / Sports Illustrated. We're gonna write on the top probably the top prospects. They're the standout prospects of the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament. I'm meeting with them later today. We're gonna discuss some of that, but it'll likely just be the standout players here that'll likely get an invite to the G League Elite Camp and so on and so forth.
You think there's any draft picks there?
Yeah, I think Tumani Kamara has been the one that stood out a lot. Like he's 6'8", an above the rim finisher, and within 1 minute at the start of the second quarter, something like that, he dunked on Pete Nance, got a steal, then hit a spot up 3. Like he's everything you want in a power forward. Last year we saw Tyrese Martin get drafted, who started out here. He wasn't even on draft boards at this time last year, and then he ends up becoming like the 56th pick or somewhere around there to the Hawks. So Tumani Kamara is someone that I could see filling them shoes like that. And you'll probably hear a lot about his name in the next couple weeks.
Did you fly there or drive there to Virginia?
Oh, I drove. It was awful. I underestimated a 10-hour drive. I remember looking at the GPS and I still had 3.5 hours. It's like I can't make it. I have to pull over and sleep. So I took like an hour nap. It was built different. I'm not ready for the ride home.
That's nothing. I live in Phoenix, and Minneapolis is 25 hours away.
Oof.
So I've done that drive where we've only done a 5.5 hour break.
Wow.
Jeez.
Slingshot. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. Slingshot. Like we would leave, I think it was a Friday morning, then we got back Saturday night.
That's rough.
Jeez.
Props to you.
It becomes numbing after a few hours. It's like when you go on a marathon and like the first mile sucks. And then once you get into the second or third mile, you're just kind of like, okay, I'm doing it.
Right.
You know? So, but we talked about it. Like you're ascending, man. You're getting into draft stuff. And today we're going to talk a lot of draft stuff today in addition. And we want to start out. March Madness just happened. 2023 NBA draft soon coming up. I believe the NBA draft lottery is less than 5 weeks away. And I think this is the most important draft lottery ever. Like since LeBron, it's the most league-changing lottery. And you consider the flattened odds, it's probably the most anticipated lottery. So let's just talk about the update of the 2023 NBA draft. March Madness just happened. You want to talk about just, your updated takes on the 2023 draft, who's standing out to you, who's slipping, what discussions do you like and dislike? Just I'm gonna start the lawnmower. Go.
So probably we'll start with the champions. We'll start with the NCAA champions, UConn Huskies. Jordan Hawkins, some scouts are saying he's the best shooter in the draft, which I can get behind. At 6'5", he's a 6'10" wingspan. He comes off screens so well. Read screens well, whether it's a flare, pin down, all that kind of stuff. And his shot release is so quick. It might be the quickest release in the draft. And then I feel like it's one of those shots where it just feels like it's always going to go in when it comes off his hands. It just feels like it's going to be nothing but net. He's projected lottery. He was kind of in that mid to late first round before the tournament, and now he's kind of getting like lottery conversations. And then we'll go to Andre Jackson, who I am absolutely high on right now as a role player. Unsure. He's undecided if he's entering or not. Super athletic wing that has a great feel. Outside of like Amen Thompson and stuff, I think he has the best combination of feel and athleticism in the draft. Just knows where to cut, knows where to be, knows where to position himself on defense and offense. Always is like a play ahead, it seems like. And that's just like so valuable. Even despite like the shooting concerns and some of the scoring limitations, we're seeing Jonathan Weiserman for Bleacher Report made a great point. We're seeing guys like tall, like playmaking wings or lead guards that are just making such a big impact with like Josh Giddey, Halliburton, and the list goes on and on. Dyson Daniels won last year. He talked about Anthony Black would be that guy next year.
Avdia 2020.
Yeah, just like they have shooting concerns, but they figure it out in the half court, and that's like very important, I feel like.
I'm a really big Jordan Hawkins fan. James knows this.
He's obsessed with the man. It's a man crush at this point.
I mean, it's just so fun to watch him because, I mean, just his release is insane. The amount of shots that he can make. He gets up super high in his jump shot. Like, I think that's gonna. I'm really interested to see how that works out in the NBA. I think a team could fall in love with him to the lottery. I don't really know where he's gonna go yet, but I'm really excited to see how he ends up in the NBA.
Yeah, I think in my recent mock draft, I had him going 14th to the New Orleans Pelicans, who
makes sense.
just lost their game to the Thunder in a heartbreaker. So I think he'd fit well there with space the floor, be probably their second best or best shooter on the roster right away. They have some nice pieces there. I think he'd fit in really good at the wing spot.
They got a lot of wings, man. I mean,
they do.
You got
Trey Murphy at third.
Trey Murphy, he's gonna be a star, man. I've watched him the past few months. I went from I really like this guy to like this guy is going to be a star. Like I genuinely believe that he's a star.
What's he like 6'10" now? I know he was still growing when I saw him.
I think he's 6'9". Yeah, I think he's 6'9".
6'9", can shoot it, can defend. I mean, he's lengthy.
He might be
2, 3, or 4.
He might be this might sound crazy. Like I see a lot of Klay Thompson in that dude. Like
he's been balling.
The way he moves, the way his shot just seems so like firm, consistent. The stance just it's like he never gets wavered with his jumper. It's so balanced and quick, like Clay's. And it's like you can't guard it because he's 6'9" and
he's much taller and longer than Clay too.
Yeah, like it's unreal. His shot, like I'm not sure if there's anybody in the NBA right now who has that like shooting release but goes off that fast. It's a cannon. It's a cannon. Slingshot, whatever you want to call it. Stud. So yeah, getting Jordan Hawkins and Trey Murphy running around screens for Zion's 13 games this season. Those 13 games will be really entertaining.
They would be.
But yeah, in reality, prayers to Zion. But I want to talk to you a little bit about just the top of the draft. You know, we saw the recent mock draft. Jonathan Givony has Brandon Miller going second. And, you know, he had a very bad March Madness, but he's still projected to go second. Is that a smoke screen? Is that valid? Is it real but not valid? Like, what's your stance on it? Because I know you like Scoot a lot.
Yeah, I'm a big Scoot guy. Could very well be a smoke screen for a team willing to trade down a little bit or something like that, something along those lines, or some team to get a bigger package. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't see a case where you would take Brandon, especially for the Rockets. I think he had him going to the Rockets at 2, which I just totally disagree with. When they could use Scoot, who's a elite guard that has the playmaking improvements, the mid-range shot making ability, can finish very well to the rim, a crazy athlete, has like that kind of like just long arms like Anthony Edwards like built in a way, except he's like 6'2". He has a 6'9" wingspan. Built like a tank. Kind of reminds me a bit of Russ in some ways. If I was to make a player comparison, I would compare him into
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook.
I like that.
So, yeah, I personally lean towards Scoot at 2. I like him a lot more than Brandon Miller. But Brandon Miller is still, in my opinion, the top 5 prospect, top 6, top 5 prospect with his shooting ability at 6'9". Has shown improvements throughout the season as a passer and all that stuff. And even finishing has slightly improved a bit, which is good to see. But yeah, I would still lean Victor Wembanyama 1 and Scoot Henderson 2.
Yeah, I just don't like the only team where I'm like, there's actually a chance I feel like they would take Miller over Henderson is the Pistons. But still, in that case, if I was the Pistons, I would be, trying to trade down.
Pacers, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I feel like
that's a big maybe.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know. I don't know what the temperatures on Matherin right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't get it. I think most teams would definitely be looking to get a guy like Scoot Henderson. Like the Rockets taking Brandon Miller wouldn't make sense to me. Like I'm not gonna him and Jabari Smith are pretty similar players by themselves. They're kind of you can kind of compare those two.
I like Miller more coming out though. I do like Miller more.
I do too.
Because I think Miller has more. I think he has more to give and has shown more acceleration and on-ball creation than Jabari. I don't know if Isaac fully agrees or not, but
no, I do with that.
Yeah, he shows a lot more on-ball stuff, and honestly, like I do like the fact that Miller is getting over 8 rebounds a game. You could tell he needs to get stronger, but he has like NBA level physicality. So there's some things that make Miller feel like a day one sure thing. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair to say.
And for the Rockets, like, I get it. They have 2 guards already, Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green, but Kevin Porter Jr. is not going to be the reason why I wouldn't be taking Scoot Henderson number 2.
Oh gosh, no.
You gotta have somebody a lot better than that to prevent me from taking Scoot Henderson at number 2.
I agree. I fully agree.
What do you think of? I've been thinking about 2023, and I think I'm getting more firm about my top 5 prospects. Like I'm feeling pretty good. I have right now Victor 1. I have Scoot 2. I got Miller 3. I'm leaning Ahmed Thompson 4, and I think I have Cam Whitmore 5. I'm starting to lock him in as my 5th guy, unless I find out he's a total head case. So we'll see. Somebody's always a head case in most years. We'll see who it is. But like unless Cam Whitmore's a head case, and he might be the greatest guy ever. I have no idea what he is mentally yet. I have no clue. But assuming he's at least passable or good, like I feel like his talent level is so significant. I wouldn't pass on that in the top 5 this year unless I have legit like durability or intangible questions.
Okay. Yeah, I think some other names that I feel like it's like the top like 7-ish for me because I also the 5 names you threw out, and then also like Jarris Walker out of Houston and Asar
Yep.
Thompson, Ahmed's
Yeah,
brother,
those two.
no T. I had those there. Casey Wallace, I'm super high on, but I'm not sure he has some of the upside the other
I
guys
love him
do.
too. I do love him too.
I know his stock is dropping a lot. Some are lower on him, but I'm holding on my Nick Smith Jr. Stock. I'm still holding on there. I think the talent's there, the scoring ability. I think his game fits the NBA a little bit more, and I feel like his season was kind of derailed by injuries and stuff. He struggled to get any consistency. Um, he'll struggle a little bit in the NBA first adjusting. He'll be an inefficient scorer his first season, maybe two. But I'm a big believer in who he'll be as a player.
Personally, I did sell my Nick Smith Jr. stock, and I did buy new shoes from them, so it's pretty cool. But Zach knows where I stand. I just personally don't value players I project as one-way players who don't pressure the rim. I just don't put a lot of value into those players unless they're just absolutely elite playmakers. That's just me. But yeah, I got a question about Asar Thompson. So Asar Thompson wins the MVP in the same league as Emma Thompson, right? Asar Thompson averaged 6.1 assists. Thompson averages 5.9 assists. I am not saying scouts are wrong or right or not. I'm just curious, what separates Asar from a man? And, like for a casual fan just looking at the numbers raw and saying, well, Asar averages more assists. How is Thompson a higher touted playmaker? What would be your answer to those questions?
So there's a couple reasons. Amen's way better as like a playmaker and advanced reader in the half court and trenches. I think Amen's just much better with his variety of passes he can make, his manipulation with the ball in his hands. Asar's a good secondary playmaker, but I believe he's more of a secondary creator as where Amen's more of a primary where he can create better off the dribble. I like his handle more. I like his passing more. And I think Amen's a much better finisher. Asar kind of struggled finishing at the rim this season compared to where Amen was a little bit more efficient. Both actually have the same issue with their finishing through contact, and sometimes their body can flail in the air, and it just leads to a bad layup attempt.
Yeah.
So that's just where they have to get stronger. But it mostly has to do with the on-ball creation skills, to where Asar doesn't have the same creation skills as is just with the ball in his hands. I think he can be like an Andrew Wiggins kind of guy compared to where Amen can be a Ja Morant kind of guy.
Do you think either can like have a serviceable, 3-point shot in the NBA? Because I mean, we already saw with both of them with overtime this year. You got guys like going under their screens already and stuff, and daring them to shoot. Like, how servable do you think their shots could be? I think Asar improved. He shot pretty well in the playoffs. I believe in his shooting more. But what do you think?
Yeah, I think Asar is the one that he's the better shooter right now, and I think he'll end up being the better shooter in the NBA. His touch is really, really good. He showcases a good touch. It's just off the eye test alone. And the shooting improvements, I believe, are real. He's still not some elite shooter or a great shooter by any means, but I think he can be a good shooter in the NBA to where you can't eventually you won't be able to leave him open. You'll have to close out on him, which will open up his game a little bit more. Amen, I'm very skeptical about his jumper. I think there's a lot of issues from the top of it to the bottom. Touch gets worse as he farther gets out of, or if the farther away he is from the rim. So I'm confident-ish in Asar developing a jumper, not so much in Amen.
Gotcha.
So this in every single draft, there's a guy taken outside the top 10 who proves to be a top 5-ish player in the class. Like you can look at any draft class, and that's just history, right? 90% of the time. Right. This year's draft, for me, I was talking to Zach about this. I think this year, for me, the most likely guy to follow that path is Leonard Miller. When I consider the physical tools the guy has, the wiggle he has off the dribble, I think his feel is getting way better. I think his defensive instincts still have work to do, but I am seeing dramatic improvement. And usually, two things I like to bet on are tools and improvement. And Leonard Miller, some people call him the most improved player out of any player in this year's draft, from last year to this year. Rafael Barlow, he texted that to me. So who is your guy for that this year? Or who's the most likely guy who's going to just like exceed expectations? And what's your take on Leonard Miller? I'm kind of asking 2 questions in one.
Which one do you want to answer first?
Whatever you want.
Okay, we'll go. My pick is Maxwell Lewis out of Pepperdine. His stock was relatively high to start or throughout the middle of the season, but his team was absolutely awful. No other way to put it. Very underwhelming as a mid-major team, given the talent they had on that roster. And I feel like that played a big part in his stock falling. And also, his defense was a little bit underwhelming throughout the end of the season. And I think most of that has to do with they just couldn't win games. So you lose some motivation on that aspect of it. So I think he has just the creation skills, the shooting ability at 6'7". He's just so smooth with the ball. I think he showed enough passing flashes. It's just the defensive consistency has been bad, and the numbers dropped a little. The percentages and numbers dropped a little bit when you got into conference play. And I think most of that was just a confidence issue more than anything, and just the lack of energy, I should say. He'd be my pick. I think he could potentially be a star out of this class. Honestly, I really think he'd be that guy. Like, wow, we missed on him because of the team he was on, or whatever the case may be. And my thoughts on Leonard Miller, I like him. I feel like he hasn't been talked about honestly enough throughout this draft. I feel like he hasn't been talked about enough throughout, this draft process. When last year everyone kind of liked him as like the mystery guy because he came out of nowhere and a 6'10" forward that can like pass and handle and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But now he's been productive in the for Ignite.
Especially late in the season, he was killing it.
Double machine. 6'10" power forward who his form isn't ideal. His form is a little bit may need some mechanical fixes, but the touch is there. I trust the touch completely. I think, especially inside the paint, he showed good touch. And that's something I value a lot is touch whenever you project a shooter, especially at like 18, 19 years old. That's probably one of the more important things because he has a whole creative fix of mechanics need be. So I like Leonard Miller. Still inconsistent defensively, but he also is playing against professionals, guys that are trying to make it to the NBA that are playing their heart out every night. So I like Leonard Miller. He's rising up my draft board. He's my second-ranked Ignite prospect, obviously behind Scoot Henderson. Maybe he could become something like a plus Jared Vanderbilt kind of guy, with a little bit more I feel like he has more shooting upside than Vanderbilt. He had better touch than Vanderbilt. So some run is like kind of like a player projection, I'd say.
That was the physical comp I was going with. Like I was thinking like who's the most similar to Leonard Miller physically? I would have said it's Jared Vanderbilt. I think they're really different players, to be honest. Because Vanderbilt's game is energy. His game is pure flying around like a madman, like a bat out of hell, and just wrecking havoc with his motor, not necessarily talent, skill-wise. I just think Miller has this wiggle to him when he gets the ball, especially to his left hand, that has me go like, whoa, okay. 6'10" guy who's got excellent feet, who can change speed and absorb contact. Like there's a lot there. I mean, that's why I'm looking at him and saying this is a guy who, because he got so much better from last year to this year, rate of growth I think is important. And he is showing
for sure
a very exceptional rate of growth, and I see the talent there. So, because I don't want to say hated, I very much disliked his film last year out of high school. I thought jumper.
Yeah, you could tell he was raw.
Jumper was broken. Everything seemed rushed, out of control, wrong spot at the wrong time.
Yeah.
He went from that to like a productive player, professional level, who is showing signs of growth and talent offensively. And I'm just like, ooh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in the combine last year, he played absolutely terrible where people were questioning why was he even playing this games. He should not have done that because he hurt his stock. Because he was literally just terrible in the draft combine games last year. So I'm glad to see him bounce back in a great way this year. And he was also, numbers-wise, percentage-wise, he was one of the best finishers in the G League this year. And I think that's very positive for someone at 6'10" with his size, and I think he's like one of the youngest players in the G League. So, I mean, that's really, really good to see.
His body control, it's special. Like
he's a really good. He's a really nice finisher.
It's special. His body control is special. Like I'll talk about my list in the future, but like, there's always a guy who's like top 40 guy in the NBA every draft you just never imagined would be coming in, and I had him in the top 40 in 2030. So I'm throwing my analytical, historical context stock at him.
What do you think of Kobe Buffkin from Michigan? Because I just did my scouting on him a few days ago, and I kind of liked it. He's I'm kind of surprised with how well he finished at the rim. I think it was like 71% at the rim. He's a nice handle. I think he can be a versatile offensive player. I think he's a better shooter than what the base numbers say he is. He's a really good shot blocker for a guard too. He averaged almost a block a game, and I think he's got a lot of talent on the perimeter defensively. I think he could add some weight, and there's some things he could figure out still. But he's somebody where I'm kind of looking at. I wonder where the consensus is at for him, and if he could be a guy in that late lottery, just out of the lottery type range.
Yeah, the vast majority right now see him as kind of like a top 20 guy. And there's actually been talk on Twitter that is he the best prospect on Michigan ahead of Jay Howard.
I think he is.
So it's a valid conversation, which would have been wild to have like 2 months ago, but it's very valid now. His stock has risen a ton the last month and a half. It's really just this versatility on both ends. Like he's a great finisher with either hand around the rim. He can handle the ball. As you said, he's a better shooter than I think numbers indicate. He can pass it. I wouldn't say he saved Michigan season because they didn't make the tournament, but without him, they would have been probably a team with a negative record.
Wasn't he filling somebody's role? Wasn't he filling somebody's who got hurt role?
More so on the on-ball creation side, because one of the lead guards got hurt, so he had a little bit more on-ball responsibilities. And then his defensive versatility. He has an NBA length and height for a wing. He's just versatile on both ends of the floor, which is awesome. He's still very young. Because if he would have went into the draft last year, he would have been like one of the youngest players in the draft, which obviously he wasn't ready yet. But I like his versatility. I think he could maybe sneak into the lottery. I don't know what he'll do at the combine and all that stuff. But he's super talented. Could be the first Michigan player picked off the draft board or picked in the draft.
I think he's younger than Brandon Miller and then a few other top guys, even though he's a sophomore and those guys are freshmen. Yeah, he's one of the younger sophomores in this class, that's for sure.
Yep.
That Jed Howard stock, I feel like he got so much early season hype, and I feel like it's
top
died
10.
down.
Yeah. It's mostly the defense. His defense was just awful. His defense was awful, despite him having a 6'8" frame. Like he was very bad in defensive end, like totally negative. But the shooting and shot making and scoring package is really good. And I think for his archetype, like the sharpshooter role or whatever archetype, I think he's one of the best passers amongst everyone in this draft. So I think he's a pretty valuable offensive asset, not so much in defense. But he's 6'8", so maybe there's you can bet on that. I think you're able to bet on that in late lottery. I wouldn't be against him being late lottery.
Let's shift to the 2024 NBA draft now a little bit. And the Nike Hoop Summit happened on Easter Eve. I watched it after I came back from dinner. I saw, speaking of Trey Murphy earlier, I sat next to him and Jonas Valanciunas during dinner.
I saw that. It was crazy.
So my dad was talking trash. It was pretty funny. Because
we beat him.
Like my sister, when we said happy birthday to him, was like, "Dad, what's your birthday wish?" And he goes, "To beat the Pelicans tomorrow." And he looks at them, and Trey Murphy goes in the background like, because they totally knew we were heckling a little bit. But that was fun. But back to 2024, Nike Hoop Summit happened Saturday night. I want to hear some of your biggest takeaways from that. Your feel on a 2024 draft that at this moment in time isn't very highly regarded.
Yeah, so we'll start off Team USA. Ron Holland's versatility just stood out immediately. He led the team he led Team USA in every major statistical category: rebounds, points, assists, blocks, steals. He led them all. Just his two-way impact is unmatched. His defensive versatility is elite. He can legitimately slide his feet with ones and twos, and he's a 6'8" power forward. And he plays with a high motor at all times. He's improving as a shooter. I like his slashing a lot. He's athletic. I like everything about him. He actually is now my number one prospect. I had Isaiah Collier there for a while, but Ron Holland since then, his two-way impact is unmatched. He has ties with the NBA. I'm betting on him as the number one prospect. He was the guy that stood out for Team USA, and Team World will go Mackenzie McBako.
Yep.
He recently decommitted from Duke because Kyle Filipowski returned, Mark Mitchell returned, and Ryan Young off the bench. So playing time, probably was going to have to come off the bench or play a role if he didn't really want to, which I can understand why he would decommit. And it was kind of rumored for a little bit anyways, but I liked him a lot. His shooting ability at that size, he has a great frame. He has some versatility upside on defense. I like him as like a 3-and-D kind of prospect, but he does have a little bit of upside to work with. Unsure where he goes. He could go to the professional route. I know that's getting a little bit more conversations are going there with former Texas commit A.J. Johnson just went to the NBL today, which is a huge get for them. I like that for him a lot. So we'll see what McKenzie does. He has a lot of options available to him.
Well, not Nowalka. I thought he was impressive.
He was good for Team World. He has, the size, the athleticism, the shot blocking ability. I liked him a lot. Someone else too is Zachary for Team World. I was not impressed. For the game he was. There's some I heard in the practices he was good. I heard in practice he was good because I talked to somebody. I wasn't able to watch the practices sadly, and they didn't stream it this year, which sucked. Or the scrimmages, I should say. They didn't stream the scrimmages this year. That from what I heard. But I liked him a lot. I liked him a lot from previous film. He has the size. I think he has the shooting potential to be good and the athleticism.
His mechanics are so wonky though. It's like
yeah.
It's like he chucks it and he doesn't hold the follow through. Just goes.
He's definitely a bit of a project. I'm not sure where he'll end up playing at next year. He's regarded as a top international prospect, but I think someone that might go to UCLA eventually. Aday.
Oh, he's not the number one. Rasheda, right? That's his last name.
Yeah.
He's got a way to go. Maybe he's one of those guys. I said, Leonard Miller this year, right? Where I'm just maybe he gets way better next year. I just watched a kid at Nike Hoop Summit who I thought he struggled with the physicality, and I thought, wow, he had some really intriguing transition passes. He had a couple arm hook passes or whatever from the perimeter that were really impressive. But I just thought his jumper looked like a really big project. It looked uglier than Leonard Miller's last year. And his physicality. Speaking of that guy coming to UCLA, I actually am a big fan of his. Aday Mary, want to talk about him a little bit?
Yeah, I don't think it's anything official quite yet, but it is rumored to be a thing. I think it depends on what Aday does for UCLA. Their center right now, who's a really good paint defender and stuff. But Aday, I like him a lot. I know you're probably definitely higher on him than I am, but he has the shot blocking skills, the feel for the game at that size, at 7'2". He's a good passer. He can shoot it. He can protect the rim. I don't think he moves great laterally, but at that size, I don't expect him to. And he needs to improve his conditioning just a little bit.
Yeah.
But he has the touch. He has the shooting upside. He could be somewhat similar to Marcus Gasol, maybe.
Hey, we had the same comp. Zach and I talked about that yesterday with Zach.
Yeah, James is talking my ear off about this guy 2 times now.
I spent 3 days just watching 2024 guys. And he was the guy outside of the Isaiah Collier dude at USC. He was the guy who stood out to me the second most. Yeah.
Mara is there's a lot to like. I hope he goes to the right situation though for his second. I kind of would like him at UCLA. So as you have a lot of players leaving, Tyger Campbell, I think is gone. Jaime Jaquez is gone. Amari Bailey just announced that he's done with college. So they're losing a lot of wings and guards. So maybe that also means Bronny James could, look at that. I'm okay.
Bronny James and Aday Mara might be fun. That's a lot of IQ.
Because USC returned 4 of their starters, and they have the number 1 player. Have Isaiah Collier coming back. So, where does Bronny start? Does he come off the bench? And at UCLA, you look at that and you're okay, well, Bronny would start there. So, I think Bronny's trending more towards UCLA now, to be honest with you.
Okay.
That'd be
fun. LA is at the center of college basketball again next year then.
Yep. Yeah. That's what it's looking like. But there's still time to go. I'm sure he's looking at that though and looking like, I could start here or I can go to a better team or projected to be a better team, USC, and come off the bench. But I think UCLA has a little bit more to offer right
Talking
now.
about players returning, what do you think about some of the guys from on that Duke squad that are returning next year, like Kyle Filipowski and Proctor? Like that team could be nuts next year, and they obviously have a really good recruiting class coming in again. Like that's gonna be a really good team.
Yeah, Filipowski actually was no surprise because I told James before it even happened. Like I think like a week before it happened, like it was probably going to happen. Because it was rumored for a little bit that he loved his time at Duke. He wasn't in the rush. He could have actually entered the draft the year before because he was a fifth-year high school guy. And he was old enough. He reached the age. He could have, but he had no interest in doing that at all.
Yeah, but really.
He shut that down, and he's a skilled big. I hope the shooting percentages improve from three, especially for his like archetype, which is a skilled big who could be a double machine. Does he play the 4 or the 5 is my question in the NBA. I think he's better off at the 4. Yeah. But I also said the same for Domantas Sabonis years ago, and he's been thriving at the 5 next to De'Aaron Fox. So, it's a question. Mark Mitchell, he's a high motor power forward who, it still needs I think the percentage was good, but I still have questions about the outside jumper. And then you have Tyrese Proctor, who's a skilled offensive point guard who struggled very much to start the season, but his second half season was much, much better. And I think he'll come in next year and just start the season off great. They have a really good team next year. They have a lot of returners. They have talent coming in. I'm excited for that Duke team.
I want to go back to the UCLA talk because I had the topic at the bottom left, but we kind of went away from it. So I watched I don't know how many guys I watched. I watched a decent amount of the known guys, and I have – you want to hear my top 5?
For what? The draft next year?
24, yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
Collier to me is clear number 1 right now. Clear number 1. I just think he's got that physical frame where it reminds me of a smaller Edwards, like a 6'2", 6'3"
He's built for a
version.
point guard.
He's built for a point guard. He's powerful, and his feel is unbelievable. Like, I was watching him, and I'm like, this guy, he could be a bigger, bulky Darren Williams, and that is a nasty player.
Right.
And I think lead guards are what you want in the NBA, and I think he's the best bet to be like an engine of a team in this draft. And then after that, there's a little bit of a gap. I think Aday is my number 2 right now.
Okay.
I got Ron Holland 3, Montes Buzelis 4, and I forgot who I had 5. I wrote it down. I forgot. Let me check.
DJ Wagner, Justin Edwards.
Definitely not Wagner.
Okay.
Okay, let me go back to this. I had a mock draft. Who did I have? I had Justin Edwards. Justin Edwards was 5. So I really like Justin Edwards. Super smooth left-handed wing. He's got physical tools. He's got feel. I like him. But yeah, the reason why I had Mara number 2 is because I think in a draft that isn't very good, I am betting on the 7'3" guy with a projectable frame, with skill, I think he has a little bit of a nasty to him from the film I watched. He has a little bit of nasty to him, which makes me think he's going to be a physical player down the road. Yeah. And you add the skill, you add, I think, conditioning is something you can work on. Like, I understand, I don't think the mobility is bad. I just think it looks bad next to Victor Wembanyama. So I was telling Zach this. I hope they don't look at him in the lens of Victor, because he kind of does the things Victor does, just at nearly the level, because Victor is just different. So I hope they don't do that to this kid. But I just think he has the size, he has the skill, he is the best in the draft at the most important defensive trait, which is rim protection. And I just think he's the most likely guy just to impact at a near star level in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't have him too, but I ain't mad at it, especially in next year's draft. There's going to be someone to rise, and I can see Mara being that guy. He's just, it's that two-way ability. Like, even watching him back when I think it was the U17, I want to say. Like, he was
unbelievable.
He was awesome. That's when he kind of like broke out, and I still think like he was like one of the youngest players in his league. He produced the time he played, obviously limited minutes and limited playing time, but I like him a lot. You know, he could rise to 2. I personally would have like Collier there because obviously I have Ron on 1. As I
love
earlier.
Collier. He's special, man.
Yeah, Collier could be a really good lead guard. in the NBA just with his he's the best passer in the class. He has the NBA ready body. He has the speed, the burst, the first step, the finishing ability. Just the outside shot's the question right now. Needs to improve as a free throw shooter and all that stuff, but they built the talents there. He could be given the keys to the offense, and whenever he gets to the NBA.
Do you think? I feel like Merrick could like dominate college if he decides to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
Just with the league that seems to be dominated by bigs almost every year. I mean, the top players are usually big guys,
bigs,
and a lot of those guys don't translate as much. Like Luka Garza, while he's going to be probably a rotational big maybe at some
Luka,
point.
Man, come on.
No. I'm saying he's not one of the better players in the NBA, and you got Drew Timme. Oscar Tshiebwe, guys that aren't going to be massive contributors at the next level. I think he's, a guy who has an NBA type skill set probably, and could be that dominant big at the college level. And I'm excited to see. I really hope he goes to college, wherever that's at.
Yeah.
UCLA would be cool, big market school. But I really want to see him go to college.
If he was to go to college, it would probably only be UCLA, to be honest. I would say. I could imagine him ending up anywhere else.
I want to go to UCLA games. I want Bronny James and Aday Mara on the same team. That'd be just so fun. And the IQ between those two and running your offense would be so good. It'd be so good. So I want to see that really badly.
Hey, it could happen. Not they're as committed there yet, but I think in a month we'll know.
I think professional basketball will help him a lot at the college level too, because I don't think he's going to be intimidated by the speed or physicality at all. I think he's going to come in and honestly think it's easier to play in America, because he in Europe, he was limited to very much a play finisher and, drop big roll. And I think he has way more than that in his game. I think he has awesome playmaking, at least at the secondary level. I think his jump shot isn't very good right now. He has way too much arm on his shot right now. It's like it goes out and he puts it over. It's a little too much arm stuff there, but I think you can work on that. I think if you just push the ball out a little more forward and get a little more leg, he doesn't need. The cool thing is he seems to have the lower body where he won't need to jump to be a good jump shooter. I think he's going to have natural balance as a shooter. So I think his jump shot is very projectable. I think his rim protection, very projectable. His playmaking is very projectable. And like I keep saying, no, I don't have him in the same tier as I had Evan Mobley or Chet Holmgren or obviously Victor this year.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't quite see that. But in a draft like this, I am betting on the 7'3" skilled tough guy with projectable upside. That's just the stance I'm standing on. When in doubt, bet on size.
Yeah. I mean, we're seeing it now. I was talking to actually a guy earlier today. I was like, Tiger Campbell, he plays UCLA. He was impressive at Portsmouth, but at the same time, he's 5'11". Mm-hmm. And we saw guys like Sharif Cooper and Kane Chandler. They can't even cracking it. Kane Chandler just got cut right before the playoffs or waived. And Sharif Cooper, who was one of the best undersized guys I've evaluated, he's not even on NBA roster now.
Because he can't shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just the size it's just becoming to where we're seeing guys like Anthony Black, Cade Cunningham, Dyson Daniels, list goes on, Tyrese Halliburton, LaMelo Ball. That's the tall playmaking guys. We're just seeing a bunch of size taking over the NBA. And if you're under 6 feet, if you're 6 feet and under, it's just hard to last.
You have to be a transcendent shooter or just unbelievably above the rim. Unbelievably.
How tall is what's his name? Jordan McLaughlin. Is he 5'11"?
5'10".
5'11", I believe.
Yeah, I think he's
been really bad recently. He's really pissed me off.
I've never liked him. Zach knows this. I've never liked him. I think he's a great guy. I think he's built to be a good coach. It's not personal. I think he's a great coach. I think he's got a great feel. But unless you have really good players around him, I don't think he's effective.
Yeah, it's just how it is in NBA, especially at that size.
Because he's quick and he likes to get to the rim, but he's not it's a low center of gravity the way he drives.
Right.
And when you're 5'8", 5'9", dude, and you're low center of gravity and you're not very vertically appealing, you're not he's dunked a couple of times, but he's not a high elevation finisher.
Yeah.
He dunked on Clint Capella that one time.
That was weird. That was weird.
That was so weird. How does Clint Capella let that happen? That's crazy.
Jordan McLaughlin, I think, blocked Julius Randle. Am I wrong? Zach.
can't
He
remember.
had a
I think
block
he
against
maybe
the
did.
Knicks, and
Was that
I'm
this
like,
year?
yeah. I after the game, I came away thinking like, Randall, your 57 points don't matter.
Yeah.
So
What do you think of? I mean, this was somebody who was like number 1 in this 2024 draft class for a long time, DJ Wagner. Like, what happened to his stock? Really, like, did he just like stop growing? Because I know he's like really he's a smaller dude right now, and he's he's I don't know where he's gonna be drafted, but it doesn't really seem like he's being talked about as a top 5 guy that much.
Well, I guess most of it has to do with just the rise of a couple other players, like Ron and Collier and stuff. I still actually had him 4th on my draft board, or at this point. The scoring and the shift with the ball, the shiftiness with the ball in his hands is there. He just struggles as a finisher right now. That's the big knock on him. And then defensively, he still has some areas to go, and he still needs to figure out what being a combo guard is, because that's what he is. He's best as a combo guard, but he still needs to figure out like the difference between, or knowing when to set a teammate up and when to hunt his shot. He's still trying to figure that out, which is understandable. He's still, a senior. So I think he could be on the rise again because he's one of the most talented scorers in the draft next year.
He is. He's a top 10. I think he's a top 12 guy. I'm not sure I would rank him right now. He reminds me, like when he's going, he reminds me of Tyrese Maxey with the way he moves, but he's not the rim pressure Tyrese Maxey is.
No.
And that's where I'm a little skeptical. But people forget his dad was the number 6 overall pick.
Yeah.
I don't know, Zach. I watched draft the other week.
Oh, you did? You watched the draft?
I was studying my French exam, and I always have something in the background, and I think it was the 95 draft. I don't remember which one it was, but his dad won 6.
He was the first ever third-generation player in the McDonald's All-American game because his grandpa Milt. But
yeah, I remember his dad was a similar player where he was a scorer. He was a high-volume scorer, small guard, 6'1" guard. Yeah.
I did have to remind you, in 10 minutes, I do have to go.
Okay. All right. I want to ask one more question, similar question. Xavier Booker, what's going on there? He was projected number 1 for like 5 minutes, and then he went out of the lottery again.
I've watched him live in person. Not extremely high on him. He's a skilled big for sure at 6'10". But then his shot's a little streaky, but the shooting ability is there. And this is the defensive questions. It's just more about his archetype and fit more than anything, because is he probably better off with the 4, but I don't think he has the lateral quickness or ability to stay in front of those 4 guys or sometimes small forwards that play that position. More so about fit. I still think he's maybe a lottery time. I personally wouldn't have him lottery just because of some of the concerns I have for him. But Michigan State, I think he'll play the 4 because Sissoko's coming back and he's more of an inside interior guy, so it'll be good for him. Michigan State's supposed to be really, really, really good next year, so you'll hear a lot about Booker probably at that 4 or 5 spot. I think the guards coming back is probably like the best backcourt in the country. So it'll probably make him obviously look a lot better, which is good for him. And honestly, being with Coach Izzo and being with experienced guards is huge for a big like that. So he could definitely be on the rise again.
Like, okay, really quick question before we go to our draft trivia. Julius Randle, what are the, like, as a young prospect, I've heard of that once. Is there like a significant difference?
Yeah, I don't think he has the same kind of like motor as Randall did in college. I think Randall had a way better motor, and I don't see that at all. I think his effort's really bad. He lacks a lot of effort.
Is that projectable? Like in college, like if you play upper competition, can that change? Like high school?
Oh yeah. It could definitely play a big factor. Competition factor definitely plays a bit in that. So he could improve, but even like in AAU, I just didn't like it and all that stuff. So we'll see.
Okay,
players
Zach,
change. There you go.
Let's get this game done. Draft trivia. I want to know. Zach's 0-1.
Man.
Right? Wait, what's your record, Zach?
0-1.
0-1. So I'm undefeated. He's defeated. And then Isaac right here, rookie in this.
To everybody watching, I might struggle. I might just struggle. So don't hate me if I lose.
If I win, I get Isaac Sports Illustrated job.
So we're gonna do what do you guys want to go up to points wise? Because James, I'm
11.
asking.
Let's go 11.
All right.
If he has to go, he has to go. Then we get his exit out at that point.
Okay.
All right. So how it works is, I'll ask James a question first. If he gets the pick right, he'll get 1 point, and if he doesn't, Isaac will get a chance to steal it, and if he gets it right, it'll be 2. Do we want to do the thing where each person gets 2 guesses after?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you get it wrong, the air person goes, and then you go again, and the air person goes again. So we'll start this one off with James. What pick was Brandon Knight?
Brandon Knight. 7.
Nope.
Oh, I know.
9.
I know. Yeah.
Nope.
Dang it! I knew it the moment I said it wrong. He's got 2.
Dude, I was itching right there to say
I was
that.
thinking of Brandon Jennings.
No, I said no. He was 8.
Oh, whoops.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was my second guess. Okay,
What?
we can't do that.
So we just
Let's
won't
go
count
next one. Next
he
one.
wasn't 9.
No, he was
I
8.
thought for sure, dude. No.
I knew.
All right.
I meant Brandon Jennings.
Oh.
That's what I was thinking of.
I was
Next
so
game.
confident it was 9.
Let's go with Alec Burks. Isaac, what pick was Alec Burks?
Oh, man. 13?
Nope.
24.
Nope. Isaac, you're back up.
14.
Nope. One more guess for James.
21.
Nope. He was pick 12.
Oh, he was a lottery pick.
13,
Yeah.
14, not 12.
Dang, I didn't even realize he was a lottery pick.
Yeah.
Okay, 0-0.
The Colorado, right? I think. Dang it.
All right, James. What pick was Maurice Harkless?
Why are you giving these questions if he has 10 minutes?
You want me to go easier?
I
Just
don't
keep going.
care. Maurice Harkless. I don't know. 14.
Nope.
I think I know. Was it 12?
Nope.
Is that 2012 draft, I believe.
13.
Nope. And then one more guess for Isaac.
Where's Harkless? We'll go 8.
No, he was 15.
I knew it was in that teens.
All right, we'll go. So Isaac here. What pick was Jakob Podol?
Oh, it's easy. This one's easy.
Is it? What pick was I'm not sure. Is he 7?
Nope.
9.
Yep.
Dang it.
All right, James got 2. All right, James is up. What pick was Terry Rozier?
19.
Nope.
Oh, I know
He
the
got
pick.
picked by the Celtics.
I know the pick.
16.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew it was the
Okay.
16. Moment I said 19. Tied.
All right, tied up at 2. What pick? Isaac was Yusuf Nurkic.
Oh, man. I wouldn't even
I know this one.
Dude, I won't know. 25th.
Nope.
16.
Yep. James takes another steal. All right, James. What pick was Mason Plumlee?
21.
Nope.
27.
Nope.
20.
Nope.
23.
Nope. He was 22. He just picked all around that one.
Oh.
All right. Wait, whose turn is it now? I think.
Thanks, man.
All right. What pick? Isaac was Juancho Hernan Gomez.
I know this one.
14.
Nope.
16.
Nope.
Well, I know the next one.
15.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
I knew
so
if it was either 16 or 15, I knew he got that. So
all right.
he's
4 to
got
3. All right, James. What pick was Micah Carter Williams?
He was 11.
Yep.
I was ready to steal that.
All right, Isaac. What pick was Emmanuel Mulladay?
Who?
7.
Yep.
Who?
Emmanuel Mulladay. Mulladay.
Emmanuel Holiday.
Yeah, Mulladay.
I've never heard of him. Am I just a casual?
Yes. You don't know basketball.
Dang it.
Sorry. All right, James. What pick
got one.
was?
5-4.
Yep, 5-4. What pick was Bam Adebayo?
7.
Nope.
Nope. No. I know what it is, I think. But which one was it?
Oh, wait. Oh, I was thinking of Bismack Biyombo.
14.
Yep, 14.
I was thinking of
Okay.
Bismack Biyombo.
I was thinking 13, 14.
I was thinking of Bismack Biyombo. That's who I was thinking of, not them. I thought of Bismack Biyombo. I have no idea why.
All right, Isaac, what pick, as you're now in the lead 6-5, what pick was Clint Capella?
I know this one.
Like 20. We'll go 25.
Yep.
What?
I knew it was 25. It was 25. I was thinking of Bismack Biyombo when I said 7. That was just a brain fart.
All right, James, what pick was TJ Warren?
14.
Yep. All right. I got to go. We'll go 2015 draft here.
Okay.
Isaac, what pick was I almost said that name again. What pick was Bobby Portis?
We'll go 19.
Nope.
16.
Nope.
17.
Nope.
24.
Nope. He
I didn't know
was pick 22.
Okay.
All right, let's go a little more recent here. Who's up?
James.
Yep. Okay.
All right, James. What pick was Anfree Simons?
He went 23rd.
Nope.
Anthony. Did you go 24th?
Yep.
I knew it was either one of those two.
So we got 9-6. James
Wow.
might actually lose. This is groundbreaking stuff.
All right. I had the Bismack Biyombo brain fart. I had like 3 different ones where I knew it was 1 and 2 numbers, and I picked dude, I'm just being stupid today.
That's funny.
All right, Isaac. What pick was Amari Spellman?
Oh, man.
I
Okay.
know this one.
Yeah. Hawks. 25.
Nope.
30.
Yep. We got a close one. 9-8. Isaac's up. All right. We're going to go back to 2010. I haven't gotten this far back yet. We're going to go with James. What pick was let's go Hassan Whiteside.
He went. Oh goodness.
Oh, I think I know this.
This is a hard one.
No, I think I got it.
He went 35.
Nope.
32.
Nope.
34.
Nope.
33?
Yep.
So you got 1 point. He's got 10.
All right. We'll make this one, a little harder.
I think you've
because we're
given me
getting
that
down
one
to it.
before.
I may have. All right, we're going to 2009. Isaac, if you get this one, you win. It is 10-8. What pick?
If you say Blake Griffin,
What pick was Danny Green?
35.
Nope.
Oh man, I don't know. 24.
Nope.
33.
Nope.
Okay, I'm still alive. We're good.
What was it?
I'm not done.
Oh, yeah, he's not done.
Oh.
I'm thinking here. 28.
Nope. 46.
Oh, 46. What's with your random freaking 2010? Who's the 46th pick? We have 10
All right.
minutes.
Okay. If you want
I do
to
have 2.
pick, I'll give you
I
one.
do have 2
Wait,
minutes left.
James is up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, James. What pick was JaVale McGee?
JaVale McGee. 18.
Yep. All right. 10-9.
I was like, I don't know that. Wait, I do know that one.
All right, Isaac. What pick was George Hill?
28.
Nope.
You said George
For the
Hill.
win, James.
Oh, shoot.
George Hill for the win.
Dang, I thought I knew. I thought it was Jordan Hill. And I was like, wait, no, that's not Jordan Hill. It's George Hill. Dang it. Screw you. Okay.
For the win.
18.
Nope. Isaac, you
29.
got a chance to win it. Nope.
27.
Nope, he was 26.
Oh, right there.
All right, and then we'll go with what pick? I think this is Isaac's turn, right?
It's my turn.
Oh, your turn. Okay. What pick was Serge Ibaka?
24.
Yep. All right, we're tied up at 10.
Do you want to do win by 2 or just win straight out?
I probably won't have time for 2. Or we can just do
All
the
right.
last question. Last person to get it right if you want.
Yeah.
If we're
Let's
tied
just
up.
see. The first person to shout this one out wins. We'll do it like that. What pick was Thaddeus Young?
13?
Nope. James.
12.
Yep.
Oh!
Man, I was right there.
And
comeback.
he comes back to miraculously win.
Man.
Blocked by James.
The buzzer beater.
Man, I got more blocks than Rudy Gobert has on Twitter.
That's funny.
It's blocked by James.
I can't believe I got that right. It was like God was whispering in my ear, like, you need to win this 12.
That's funny.
That was fun. This is a great game.
That was the best game so far that we've had.
So I'm 2-0 now. I think our guests are 1 and 2. Zach is Isaac's 0-1, but he is definitely the most worthy opponent thus far.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I stole his job at Sports Illustrated, so I'll be in Florida next week.
Let's go. That's funny.
I got a new article coming up why Aiden Mera is the next Marcus Gasol. It'll be out on his account, everybody. You guys can all check it out.
That's funny.
All right, Isaac. I could tell he is scrambling to get the heck out of his hotel before
I'm just getting my stuff together.
He drives to Indiana.
Yeah.
I got to work my Irish accent for my script next
Acting
week.
career.
All right. Yeah. Irish accent. It's hard because it's a lot of sounds. It's sounds.
Right.
Like, so, like, they go, father. That's how they say father. You know what's the weirdest part? You know how they say cow?
Cow.
Kai. Because ow is I.
Yeah.
So night is now. So, yeah.
Well, all right. I'm glad I have that information now.
Next week, we can have an Irish trivia with how much I'm going to be studying.
Irish trivia. James versus himself.
Let's see if I can get about as much right as my bloodline's Irish, which is, I think, like a quarter. If I get a fourth my answer's right, I'll be cooking. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We didn't get to Would You Rather Build Around. We wanted to do a topic about play-in, but we can do that after the play-in's over. You know, there's still a lot to be determined, and we'll talk about that Wolves and Thunder game tomorrow because I think that game, depending on how it goes, could actually change a lot in terms of how you perceive that team. Because with the Timberwolves, they're wired to destroy teams without big men. So if you lose to a team with Jalen Williams as your center, there's a problem. So, all right, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Windshield Hoops, and we'll see you next week.